darling.
Oh, thank God
I
they're
was just
not
thinking
back!
about freedom. How I'm free of the parasite. Free of Cazador. How I'll never be in someone's power again. And all it cost was my life in the sun. Now I belong to the shadows. So, what happens next?
Finally, they did fix it, but I didn't know what happened to this. Oh, it's just a blind to all the scream. I finally can see with my all the characters. Yay! We can go team together. Let's just be hero choice.
Do you think it's possible? I suppose there is a chance. And if there's a chance, no matter how small, I'm going to take it. And it would mean setting off on another adventure together. Is that what you want? Is this what you want?
Yes, Kiru's careful.
I would understand if you wanted to go your own way. Good. Because, selfless as I am, I really did not want to let you go. We are rather excellent together, you know. And united, there is nothing we can't do. I can't say what the future holds for us, but I know we'll be facing it together. And we're going to have a lot of fun.
Since the Netherbrain fell, you and Astarion have seen more of Faerun than you ever thought possible. One night, he tells you that these last 6 months of happy memories are the counterweight to 200 years of misery. Next day, you receive an invitation written in a frail hand, inviting you to a gathering back in the place where your journey together began.
This is a beautiful moment.
A chance to meet with the friends and allies who were by your side in the battle against the Absolute.
Oh, it's him. And the other one is here joined. Oh, oh, Lae'zel.
Thou wert called here, some from above, some below. For with thine bond, together thou hast kept the wheel of fate spinning when it threatened to halt. Though thou wert drawn far apart in the months after the collapse of the Absolute, tonight fate renews thy bond once more. Thou shouldst take care to preserve it. It is a great weapon, wielded in the hand of good. Go. Know one another once more.
Ah, my dear friend, it's been an age, has it not? You're looking very well indeed. Our skeletal friend will be very pleased to see I found my way here, despite my invitation getting lost in the post. Oh, I wouldn't bother you with such things during a party. And anyway, I've gotten quite good at replicating your signature, so you needn't even bother with the release form. You might help me with the title, though. I'm considering The Hero and Me. What do you think?
Oh, Q and I? No.
I knew you would. Perhaps perhaps, once the manuscript is finished, you'd even be willing to write a foreword? Or better yet, I'll write a draft and you can just sign your name. Better still, I'll sign it for you. Ah, your success really has been wonderful for my reputation. But you mustn't let me hog your attention all night, my friend. You've many friends to chat to, and I'd love to listen in.
A familiar sight.
Oh, will you hold that one?
Speak around the thing he has in his mouth.
Oh. Cookie Squid, miss you so much. So fluffy.
It's so nice to see you again. You smell different, but not too different. I missed your smell, but this thing I found had you all over it. I brought it for you, and I thought perhaps you'd like to throw it?
Oh, I would.
I certainly have, and I always will. Forever, I think. And so will you. You know best, but a little fetch never hurt anyone, as far as I know.
Where is it? Hold this. Artifact. Spring! Squish! Aww. Look at you! You still play that thing.
Keeping us all on tenterhooks so you can make a dramatic entrance, is it?
Oh, drop it.
Oh, boy! Is it lovely to sniff you again?
Oh.
Do you even have to ask? I certainly have, and I always will. Forever, I think. And so will you.
She's good. She's a good boy. She's a good boy. You're a good boy, Scrat. You are a good boy, Scrat.
You always know just how to do it.
Now let's see Albert. Where are you? Bigger. Oh, ooh. Oh. Oh, Bertie. I never thought Albert would do this.
Friend? Friend! You came!
Oh.
Big brother Scratch, too! Happy.
Pet. Hello? Uh-oh. Oh. Oh, there's a game bug. Oh no.
Yes. Miss this. More. Yes. Big. But Scratch is smart. Teaches me many things. Like Big Brother. Withers? No. You smell very delicious. Follow smell, find you. Lots. Make friends with a turtle, a cat, a kraken. Kraken eats my cat friend, so I bite, kill. With shiny clothes, I am strong. Tired now. Want sleep, want cave.
Oh. Oh, you. Oh, I can.
Bear man? He is big, but not bigger than me. I like him. I go to him.
Yeah, it's healthy to take care of you. He always become a big mom father's bear. Okay, hold on. Let's try her.
Happy? Gonna live with the bear man.
Yes, he fixed. Oh, look at these. So fluffy. So fluffy. Feathers.
Yes. Miss this. More.
Now next, who? Oh, Shadowheart. Why are you bare feet? Oh, because water? What'd you get here?
Starting to wonder if you'd show up. In all likelihood, it will be. But we mustn't let that stop us. Oh, come here, will you? It's been forever.
Aww, bestie hug.
You feel a little more substantial than before. Less camping and scrounging off the land, I take it. I suppose I do, don't I? I'm glad you seem well. Trudy. I found a little cottage. Abandoned, half ruined. There's a lot of such places to be found, thanks to the Absolute's armies. I've been making it my own. I feel the same, honestly. The woman in the mirror looks unfamiliar sometimes.
Not yet, this one.
She looks happy,
Everyone
and she has plenty of company as well. 4 dogs, 8 cats, 9 chickens, 6 pigeons, 4 sheep, a milk cow named Daphne, a squirrel who's far too clever for her own good, and a wolf cub I found orphaned in some woods.
Oh, you found a wolf.
I've had to do far worse things with my hands. Trust me. This is no burden at all. I don't think I've ever slept more soundly than I have with my menagerie of beasts for company.
Like
Just
your father does.
Don't tell Halsin that, or he'll want an invitation.
Oh no.
Healing. Learning to live again. It's hard to think of all that was robbed from them, but they're intent on making every day count for double. My mother's mind still drifts every now and again, but she has more good days than not so good days. She taught me her recipe for apple and plum pie, and when I tasted it, I actually remembered it from when I was a little girl. Some things can't be taken from you, it seems. Father's making himself useful, helping me fix up the cottage and caring for the animals. You should see the amount I have now. He's been waiting years for this. Now he can't stop smiling.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm rambling. Family life and pastry recipes probably aren't the most interesting topics for such a historic reunion. As am I. And no small bit surprised, also. Part of me is afraid I'll wake up from the dream and find myself back in the wilds, or worse, at the cloister. But no, it's real. Must I? You presume a great deal. I'm joking. Of course I want to know. Tell me all. As am I. It's well deserved. And I dare anyone to argue otherwise. Hopefully these meetups will become a regular occurrence. It's not that I miss the tadpoles, but at least it brought us together. Now we've got to make the extra effort ourselves. I'm sure we will, but let's be proactive about it all the same. We're more than capable. After all, we've faced down bigger threats than wrangling together a few social calendars. Don't be a stranger.
Bare feet.
I've missed wine. Had to resort to making my own cider recently, which isn't bad, don't get me wrong. But a girl can't have fun with apples alone. I suppose it's worth a try. It might keep the animals amused for a while. You might be onto something there, though the name might need work. Somehow it sounds rude, even though I know otherwise.
Oh, can I hug another one?
Always.
Oh, bestie hug.
That hit the spot. Don't be a stranger.
Ah, soldier. How glad I am to see you again. I'd started to wonder if I ever would. I'm sorry I haven't reached out. I guess I wasn't sure what you'd make of me.
His body's still burning.
Changed so much. But then again, you have too. Don't I know it? It went so fast, didn't it? One moment we were on the Nautiloid, the next we were here. I'd ask you what you'd been up to for 6 whole months, but then I'd have to reciprocate. And I'm not sure you're ready for the truth. Let us test that theory. Do you remember how my favorite food used to be mutton chops? I'm now far more interested in, well, brains. I thought I was good at cracking skulls before. Now I've got it down to something of a science. Or maybe more of a religion. I've made arrangements with a healer in the city. When a patient is beyond saving, but still able to speak for themselves, they're offered a choice. They can go as nature intends to take them, or when they're ready, when their goodbyes have been said, their affairs settled, and all that awaits them is pain, I relieve them. When I consume their brains, I am nourished by much more than the physical nutrition. Their memories, from birth to death, become part of me. I've lived hundreds of childhoods, first loves, marriages, feuds and friendships. I remember them all. And in this way, we all live on together. Thanks, soldier. It feels that way too. It's been wonderful to see you again. Reminds me of old times around the campfire. We used to think becoming a mind flayer was a fate worse than death. I wouldn't trade my life, this life, for anything. Funny how things change, isn't it? Enjoy the night, my friend. I know I will.
Look his color.
It's good to see you again. So,
Gods, I smell like a 70-year-old cinder. Withers yanked me from Avernus with my blade halfway through a Cambion's belly without so much as a chance at washing up. I'll forget all that. By the stars' light and the moon's glow, it's so good to see you. And I've got so much to tell you.
Oh?
The Hell Hunt's no mere duty. It's a thrill. The demons I've disintegrated. The devilkin I've bled. The stories I could share. I don't suppose you'd indulge me. Yes, but just the one, or I'll be yammering all night. You want to hear about the Amnitsu at the Styx? The three-tusked Orthon? Or the invading Goristroy? Word travels fast when a devil crosses the Delambir Vale near Daggerford. It had traveled a hell rift to a long-forsaken shrine. Luckily, the trail it scorched into the frontiers was hard to miss. It led to an isle of cracked rock in Avernus, floating amid a molten sea. The Orthon stood heaving, breath like brimstone and ash. And then it charged, splitting the ground with every thud so fast it left a trail of smoke. I could barely nick it, not with a blade, not with an arrow. It was the War Devil's weight that proved its own undoing. The third charge it made, I struck the rock with hail of thorns. The ground split apart the moment the beast stomped onto it. The Orthon slowly sunk, howling into the magma beneath. I let two of its tusks sink with it. The third, I sliced free and presented to the first Duke of Daggerford, a rare trophy to grace his walls. I've seen him more than a few times, and he's as proud of me as I am of him. He's leading the city's renewal, opened the gates to all newcomers, rebuilt the council from scratch. And he's back in his element, commanding the Flaming Fist with brave heart and no shortage of empathy. The likes of Gortash can bend people's minds with a few chosen words. No tadpole needed. Bane's Chosen primed the Fist for a war they weren't meant to win. He convinced them there was an assassin hiding in every shadow, that cruelty was the correct answer to crisis. With a few exceptions, fathers pardoned every last Fist. If my forgiveness not be Tyr's will, so be it. I shall forgive them all the same. His words, not mine. He still believes in the bow and the blade, but with Floric's help, he's teaching the Fist a new lesson. Valor is found not in the wounds you inflict, but in the lives that you have bettered. May they all take it to heart. She's kept herself hidden, the wily arsehole that she is. But turns out, there's a way I could find her. I'm in contact with a diabolist out in Kalimshan, an expert on devils and their infernal tricks. And she's got some thoughts about my old sending stone of an eye. If my patron could use it to track me, we might be able to track her. Or so the theory goes. We meet in a 10-day. If the diabolist's right, the eye could lead me right to Mazora. It's past time her old pet gets to sink in his fangs. I wish you'd been there to join in. Oh, to battle together, just like the old days. I suppose that's my way of saying I miss you. Tonight, I toast not just the people we've become, but the people we were. Warriors, winners, saviors. I've missed you too. The rush of battles we fought, the heart-to-hearts, the nights around the fire, the comfort of knowing I didn't face the unknown alone. If I had to do it all over again, and I'd rather not, to be clear, I can't imagine not having you at my side. I won't lie, losing the Eldritch blasts and the hexes took some getting used to. Nothing but void, where once there was hellfire. So I stoked new fires in myself, using the lessons my father once taught me. The Blade of Avernus is a ranger, a hunter of the most hellish prey. Go on, the night's young. You shouldn't waste a moment of it. Or waste a single drop of wine for that matter. I plan on downing half a bottle myself. Oops, did I say half a bottle? I meant half a dozen.
Yeah, drink it all the bottle.
Cheers to you. Cheers to Withers. Cheers to all of us.
Cheers.
Friends.
Well now, you can make yourself presentable when you have a mind to.
Yeah.
How nice to be understood again. I have spent the past months bickering with builders and bankers, all to restore the city exactly as it was. Same twisting alleys for purse pickers, same wooden buildings ready to get burnt by next year's dragon, same cisterns overflowing, huh?
Next year, dragon? Of course, next year of dragon year. Yay!
I knew an Everescan Greycloak who would say, Baldur's Gate will be the death of me. But I can't say it doesn't hold all of life. Baldurians simply get on with it. Stubbornness, civic spirit, plain stupidity. Perhaps all three. But nothing I will sniff at any longer. Harpers have come from half the world over to lend aid. Farmers, masons, healers. My own son, Jord, has been wooed to their ranks. Already he plans crop cycles in Worm's Crossing. Not so for my daughter. Ryan's rejoined the Flaming Fist. Temporarily, you understand. To organize the craftsmen. Though she spends more time locking up comrades for pocketing aid funds.
Oh,
They
my
might learn a
daughter
thing
has
or
joined
two
the Flaming
if they
Fist.
don't expel her. Again. The beloved ranger? Oh, beloved wherever he goes. Winning all sorts over to our rebuilding efforts. Minsk has the guild and 9 fingers on board. Deep down, it seems even the wicked can be moved to care for the city that made them. Of course, many of the wealthy fled the city when danger struck. Ha! Perhaps the thieves only want to lure them back. But for now, their hands are busy laying bricks. While I hover around. Mistake me not. There is still much to be done. Plans to make, maps to be frowned over. But my children are more than capable of doing it. Even the young ones tire of me peeking over their shoulders. This night offers them a brief respite from me, at least. And this place, now I look at it, it is where you all spent your first night together, no? A fine spot for an adventure to begin. A fine spot indeed. And I them. But I cast a little more shade than I would like. And they are only beginning to see the sun. Which is my way of saying, I'd like to see the open road once more. Just for a time. I'll find my way back. As I always do. I admit defeat. Baldur's Gate is my home. But that is the thing about home. The only way to see it clearly is to leave. And look back. For a little while, at least. For all your travels, I hope you have arrived where you want to be. Home. Whatever that means to you.
Yes, my home is Astarion.
Ah, sentiment. With the greatest affection, I can think of better ways to sour our stomachs. I must inspect the refreshments. You'll never know. Some ne'er-do-well might have tampered with the wine.
Rank.
I won't send too many letters back to the gate while I'm away. I will try to enjoy solace. But you look disbelieving.
Old friend. For 2 months, Orpheus trained me in the ways of the comet. For 2 more, I skewered Kithraki bellies. And for 2 more yet, I traveled through Limbo. To see your face, it brings me even more pleasure than taking a Royal Inquisitor's head.
Limbo, she'd said. A plane of chaos where you might drink fire like water. Where you might breathe ice instead of air. And the home of the mystical Githzerai. Once the Githzerai were one of the Githyanki, until bloody civil war severed them.
I do. I approach the gates of Shraktalor even now.
Shraktalor. How well you know the name. The capital city of the Githzerai. and the home of their immortal god king, Zareth Menjar-Agith.
Our Gish sent word of the rebellion to Menjar-Agith through the cosmos. He's agreed to parley. It's fallen to me to secure an alliance. I was as surprised as anyone when Orpheus spoke the order. My blade is keen as ever. But it was you who showed me that a proper victory doesn't always require a razor-sharp edge. Sometimes, a sincere plea is more persuasive than a dagger against the neck.
I saw it.
You're
God damn
again.
it. I saw it.
You reached out in good
I've been
faith.
distracting, but I look
This is his
behind.
way. It is in this spirit that I must meet him. And if he refuses, I carry on. Gravity pulls me in but one direction. I am a warrior of the comet. I will not rest until I burn Vlaakith's bones to ash and smash her phylactery to pieces.
You go, girl.
My people will be free.
Even Astarion. What are you doing?
But you've heard that refrain before.
With a knife.
Zealous, bossy, insistent. All part and parcel of my undeniable charm. Soon, when the comet has risen, when the Lich Queen has crumbled to dust, I miss this place. More to the point, I missed you. I'll be back one day. The Overgod himself couldn't keep me away. This is nice. Yes. I think that's the right word for it.
Oh, they're over sleepy.
Good fun, good company, and good
You're
wine.
too sleepy too. So adorable. Oh, we get off.
The smell of heroes sings from every stone in this place. To meet again where your journey began,
Still
my
girl,
friend.
sticky glue
An
on
honor.
his shoulder.
For Minsk and his
Look at the
hamster
book.
both. Oh, and for Happy also.
Oh, who's this?
Yes. Honored, of course.
See how your very presence snatches the breath from his chest? And it is no wonder. It is just this day that Happy learned of your legend, while we gazed down upon the very city you saved.
He dangled me from the high hall, upside down, for 2 hours.
The guild should not go creeping in high places if they do not have the stomach for them, huh? It is well for Happy the strange portal appeared when it did.
So cute.
Minsk's arm was growing aches.
I see.
So I have. Though it is a peace made more from blade and boot than it is any sense of brotherhood. 9 fingers forbade any looting of the Illithid's fleshy vessels. And so Minsk guards what remains of the battle site. Even from her. But where Minsk
look
might
at
once
it.
have thrown any
Yeah.
sneaking scoundrels from the tower top, now I tell them of you. How you ruled the wickedness within. How they might do the same.
Yes, yes, I'll rule it. I'll be better.
Oh, of course. It is still for Boo to decide if they live or die.
Oh gods.
But enough, my friend! I cannot tell your tale if I do not know the whole of it. Minsk and Boo would know where you have been, what you have done. A powerful parry. If love cannot cure a vampire, what can? Oh, Boo suggests a variety of arcane remedies, but love is the most potent, and by far the easiest to pronounce. Now, Halfling, Boo will not have you embarrassing him in front of his friends, so you ought to know the rest of the company you keep. Will Ravengard, the Blade of Frontiers, Devil-Horned and Angel-Hearted.
Is the Blade of Horned not Blade of Frontier anymore?
True child of Gith and true friend to Boo. Though she will and say it is not so. Astarion, who is banished by the sun itself for fear his Spanish soul might outshine it. We visit him much down in the dark places, though he often moves his lair without remembering to tell me square. Gale, the man who would be a god, but then thought better of it. Boo thinks better of him for it too. Shadowheart, 2 gods dogged at her soul, but she managed to keep it all for herself in the end. Wait, Boo, did she do something with her hair? Halsin, Archdruid of Arch somewhere. He is a much better man than he smells. And there, the champion of having tentacles, Karlak. She was once very tall and strong like Minsk, but we still like her as she is. And finally, Jahira. If this is a name you do not already know, then not even Boo can save you. Study them well, sneak thief. For the best among them will be a guide for your guild. Heroes who put the city before themselves. Who never falter in their duty. And more than this, who never arrive to a party without even a gift for the host.
But wait!
Go, my friend. Be among our friends. There is much work yet to be done before this one is fit to join them. We shall conclude our business with the thief. But have no fear, my friend. Boo will save you a dance.
Oh, I get this Boo. Aw.
He's going to kill me, isn't he?
Oh boy.
Not the big mad bastard. The hamster.
Don't you dare to talk to Hamster. He's really terrifying. Milan? Another bar magic? Hey, buddy.
Oh, hello. Let me guess, you've got some suggestions about the music choice.
Tough dude.
You have no idea. You've no idea who I am. Withers couldn't even find a bard that knows who I am.
Hopefully. Hey!
You know.
You're bloody right. It is an honor. Deep down, I knew you'd recognize me. You're a fellow bard, after all.
Hey, brothers.
What can I do you for? Your wish is my... etc. What song do you want?
What song I want? Dance perfect. How something thoughtful, hopefully. Like a feed the rice one. Or something gentle and be idea. Yeah, that would do.
Fantastic idea. It'll suit the whole affair perfectly.
Thank you.
Happy with kindness. How else will he learn what it is to be a hero? What's who say?
Pretty red, but...
Oh, let's just sit there. Oh, there's Gale and the cat.
Ah, there you are.
Haha, there you are.
Oh, right. You. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I'm certain it is.
It's
As
so
for
funny,
you,
the
well,
words.
I've heard
Yeah,
congratulations
no.
are in order.
No, I don't
You
be
helped
rude.
Mr. Dacarios save Baldur's Gate from the Absolute, isn't that right?
Actually, Gale.
That doesn't sound like him. But whichever way you want to remember it, well done, I suppose. You ought to come visit myself and Gale when you're able. If you can extract yourself from what I'm sure are very important responsibilities. We'll send word by pigeon when we've need of you. I used to have a taste for them, but a great many things have changed in recent months.
Yeah.
Ta-ta,
Yeah.
darling.
Yeah, you're chasing a eating by pigeon later. Gale!
Well, well. Look what the Tressim dragged in.
You're changed, are you?
Professor Gale Dacarios of Blackstaff Academy. Educator of the esteemed School of Illusion. Pleasure to remake your acquaintance.
Oh, School of Illusion. Fuck you! Ah! Kiki.
Well, that was quite lovely. I'm glad you're as pleased to see me as I am you. I have to say, I'm quite grateful to just be Gale for the evening. I fear my students find me somewhat intimidating due to my, explosive former reputation. Seem to put the fear of the gods into them. Or the fear of Mystra, to be more specific. I surrendered the crown of Carsus to her, as I told you I would. And in return, she cured me of the orb at last. Even now, I struggle to put the feelings into words.
Oh,
It's like
she did cure him now.
exhaling for the first time after holding my breath for so very long. Of course, I haven't clarified with my students that the orb is no longer a threat. The legend of my explosive capabilities is an excellent means of controlling a classroom. Too good, if anything. I spend most of my time trying to convince them how much fun the study of magic can be. But it'd be easier to crack a smile on an intellect devourer than some of my pupils. Still, I hoped my students might be a little more open to the playful side of such magic. Oh, they try their best, of course, when they can manage to stay awake.
The cheek of them! Nothing a well-placed swipe from Tara can't fix, though.
Oh, Tara.
What of you? What are you making of this newfound lease of life we earned? From you, I'd expect nothing less. I've told my students plenty of tales about our escapades. You're something of a hero to them, you know? I'll be delighted to introduce you to my current cohort as a guest lecturer, perhaps. I'm sure they'll have plenty of questions for you. I don't see why not. Two heads are better than one. Unless you're dealing with an Etin. Of course, you'll be most welcome to stay with me in my tower.
And don't forget Tara.
My apologies, Tara. That would be our tower. It will give us plenty of time to catch up on your adventures. I'm very curious to know what you've been up to these past months. But I suspect the telling of that tale would keep you tied to me all evening.
Yes.
So, in the spirit of selflessness, I encourage you to Mix and mingle for now, with time enough to come. I can't believe this is real. Never thought we'd gather like this again. It's quite... yes, it's really quite lovely.
I'm quite happy you will be immortal. But now he is so human now, not God anymore. Guess the girl become human like this. Yeah. Healthy.
You would think someone of my vintage would be inured to the passage of time. Yet these past 6 months have seemed endless without your company. But now, our paths cross once more.
I still miss
We
you.
have all pined for each other's company, I sense. I cannot imagine otherwise after what we shared. That bond was forged in a crucible that can never be stoked again, Oak Father willing. It is a bond that can weather any distance, any passage of time. I know it can, for I feel the longing for old friends in my heart each day.
Oh. I feel want to hug you now.
I always do. Should I ever decline, assume a doppelganger has taken my place.
Don't say that. Here, give me the hug. A bear hug. Oh, a so bear hug.
That was more than worth the wait.
Did I still stare at the bear? Yeah. Oh, kiss.
How thoughtless of me. Come here.
Oh. This is so sweet and romantic.
Ah, there it is. That is what I've been missing.
It's so sweet and romantic.
Now, we have much to catch up on. Do not allow me to ramble on. I am eager to hear all you've been doing.
Uh-oh. How about you first? I want to hear about it.
In that case, very well. Our community grows rapidly. In 6 months, we have turned what was once a shadowy wasteland into a true home for all. In another 6 months, I would wager the scars of the past will be entirely invisible, even to those who remember them. The old masonry of Moonrise Towers and Rythwin have been repurposed into new homes, and the land is rich with harvests and bountiful trees. Nature and civilization are in harmony, stronger together. In a manner of speaking, yes. Though it is a more complex, evolving beast than I could ever have anticipated. True balance is no simple, fixed thing. I see that now. We welcome folk from all walks of life. Anyone who wishes for a new start. Naturally, it can be chaotic at times, but it is a thrilling sort of chaos. It thrives in ways I could never have dreamed of. As am I. I may age more slowly than most, but I do believe I've gained some new laughter lines of late. Now, please, tell me all, and spare no details. I shall not lie. I have an ulterior motive in wishing to hear all. It is the children, you see. My charges. Their appetite for bedtime tales is greater than I could ever have anticipated. Another story, Daddy Halsin. Another is the chorus that greets me each nightfall.
Oh,
They have all but exhausted my repertoire in but a few short months. No mean feat given the lifetime I have lived. I desperately need new material, please. My reputation is at stake.
A bedtime tale.
You would ask to be tucked in next. But whatever the intrepid adventurer needed, I would have been glad to provide. More than a few, I should think. At least I shall be equipped to explain the birds and the bees when the time comes. But I hope that time is quite a while off yet. I am all ears, though I never cared for that phrase. A rather unsettling image.
Oh, I was still, what is this number? Oh yeah, I didn't change, never mind.
You are truly incapable of disappointing. The children shall be wrapped, and have no fear. All due credit shall be given to the tale's originator. Now, it would be cruel of me to hoard you all to myself for the evening, as much as I would like to. I shall leave you to the others for now, unless there was anything else.
Oh yeah, how about those two? Nathaniel and Olin.
Quite often. They come and go as they please, but with so many playmates to avail of, they are far from strangers. They ask after you often. What you did for them will never be forgotten. I can see it in the land all around me. But more importantly, I see it in their faces whenever they visit. To make a child smile is to dabble with the power of gods, as far as I'm concerned. I spend half my days in Ursine form. The children demand it. I had a score of them taking turns riding upon my back just days ago.
Riding the bear.
I'm glad they are so comfortable with the Oakfather's creations. But they must learn that not all are as amiable as I am. A lesson for another time, though. They deserve some joy. As for roaming, that impulse has dwindled, I must admit. Perhaps because I have found where I am meant to be. As did I, but somehow I feel like I no longer need to roam. That I have found something worthy laying roots for. Amazing what can be discovered about oneself, even at a ripe old age. On occasion, but I prefer not to interfere. Francesca of the High Forest is Archdruid now, and by all accounts, she has proven to be a steady and wise influence. Even Korga may yet find true balance, thanks to her influence.
I'm glad Calvat is okay now. The druid at the grove. She found out the balance. That's good to hear. And also, Albert want to join you.
Do you truly even need to ask? Of course. Who could not open their home to a befeathered hero of Baldur's Gate? Ah, and I did promise the children I would bring them back a surprise. Oh, imagine their faces.
Aww, the children want to see the owlbear. That's good to hear. And now that's it. Haha, kiss, and I guess that's it.
Before you go, I have something for you. Just a little keepsake, really. Do you remember how I told you I like to whittle? I made this.
Oh?
Ducks are my favorite, but
oh, it's so
I thought they were particularly fitting in this case. They are migratory birds, of course, traveling far and wide with the turn of the seasons. Yet, they always find their way back to where they belong.
Aww.
Just like old friends find themselves back in each other's company.
It's so sweet.
Just a token to remember me by. Now, I've taken up enough of your time. Go on. Enjoy the festivities. We can speak again later.
Oh. A duck.
It truly is splendid to see everyone gathered together again. If only for a night. I hope the sun does not make haste to rise on us.
I would like to kiss you again,
You read
but
my
I
mind.
miss you. Oh. Romantic.
You are more intoxicating than any fare this gathering has to offer.
And how have our friends fared without us?
Guessing here, really. Mixed bag. Not great, honestly.
I'm glad. It would be so easy to go through everything we did and come out the other side bitter and twisted. But they deserve happiness. We all do. And I will forever be grateful to have found it with you.
Oh, 기뻤어요. Aww.
I do feel a little bad keeping you all to myself. After all, I get to see you every night. Go on, go mingle. Enjoy your time with the others. Bless them with your presence. I'll be here when you're ready. I'll always be here, my love. Go on, talk to the others. We have forever after all.
This one night is like any other, and yet different. Thou art the savior of Baldur's Gate, until such time it requires saving again. How dost thou feel? I am pleased to hear it. The satisfaction of one's intention is, to my surprise, a rare accomplishment. Enjoy the revelry of the day. Thou deservest at least that much.
And this is how it all ends. Now we can ask the widow done this.
What indeed? Prick up thy ears and listen. The balance of the world restored. The balance of these lives, mortal and otherwise, brought to account. Hear me, thou heroes, wastrels, friends. I have waited long to tell you these words. It is over. For now. Thou played thy part in weaving the fabric of fate itself, but for every thread you sewed, so did the gods unravel another. Sleep, rest, revel, but be ready. For thou mayst yet be needed. Until we meet again, I wish thee every possible fortune, health, wealth, love, and above all, problems worth solving. To you.
Wow. Well, that's the end of this part. Or was there still more?
There thou art, the dead three. Thy faces gods, thy actions barely worthy of the name. Didst truly believe thy ploy would succeed? Didst believe I would not notice? Thou sought to bolster thy strength by taking away the souls of mortals. But souls vanish when their hosts become mind flayers. Didst think the other gods would not notice? Gods thou may be, yet thou hast proven thyself fools, everyone. The supplication of Bane, the whimper of Baal, the death mule of Merkel. Felled by mortals, I overestimated thee. They did not. Vermin, away. Thou wilt trouble us no more.
I guess this part is end. And what else new, Raphael?
You, a thief, a liar,
Whoops.
and a fool. We had an agreement, and you broke it. The crown was supposed to be mine. Instead of delivering it to its true home in the Hells, you allowed Gale Dekarios to deliver it to Mystra. I should snuff you out and make coin of your soul. But it will be more amusing to let you see the consequences of your actions. Do you really think that the crown is safer in the hands of a goddess than in the claws of a devil? Look to the history of these realms. It is not the devils, but the gods who sunder, wreck, and ruin. It is the gods who instigate each new crisis. It is the gods who almost brought doom to your world. I was merely a witness to their conspiracy. And I would have dealt fairly with you. I cannot say what Mystra will do. Perhaps the crown is a mere trinket to one of her power. Or perhaps it is the key to unlocking some dreadful new potential in her portfolio. Time will tell. As it always does. Look to the heavens and pray for peace. But prepare for a cataclysm.
Oh boy. I really hope this happened another continued story. And that's how it ends. Well, guess all that happens. But thank you for watching. Goodbye!